Achalugo, since you and I are no longer strangers to one another, why not let's come into my house and have a deeper conversation? Isegene, what do you think? I'm just kidding, guys. Do not allow strangers into your home. That's why I'm introducing myself to you. Hi. Sorry that I'm using my left hand. I'm Falakemi, and you are. Welcome to another video. This is the video where I answer all of your questions. I mean, every single thing, and I won't be leaving anything out. I hope. Let's get into it. If anyone is promising you an AC or a fan as a request for your hand in marriage, just take it now because the weather in this country, I can't deal. It's currently 32 degrees, but why does it feel like 100 degrees? Like I'm currently steaming, boiling, melting, frying. I'm about to turn to moi moi if I don't get this video on with. So let's just get started. The reason why I don't have my glasses are because I took them out so that I could get another glasses because it needs a prescription of my old glasses to get it. It's not your business. Let's go. So what was your JAMB and Post UTME score? How do you want to know? You want to embarrass me? I'm just kidding. So if you are not Nigerian, JAMB means the most stupid exam in this country. I'm just kidding. JAMB is Joint Admissions Matriculation Board exam, I think. And it's honestly one of the most useless exam in this country because it's not a true test of your abilities. I keep saying this over and over and over again. JAMB is like the entrance exam that every Nigerian student needs to write before they go into a tertiary institution, be it a polytechnic, a university, and things like that. So it's something that would take you from like high school, if you're in the abroad, to university. Capiche? So I actually wrote JAMB twice. I promise you I'm not dumb. I promise you. My first JAMB, I had 233, which was very not good. But my second JAMB, I did not have up to 300. I had like 260 something. Yeah. But my WAEC was very good. I had a lot of A's in my WAEC, so that added up. And my post UTME score, I didn't write post UTME for my first JAMB because I wrote my first JAMB in 2016 where a post UTME was not required. Only WAEC was required, so I didn't write post UTME in 2016. But in 2017, post UTME was required and I had really good scores in my post UTME. I think there were about 4 courses. I think general knowledge, use of English, chemistry, physics, and biology. I think, was it 5 or 4? I can't remember. But I think I cleared everything in my chemistry. I had all of my points in chemistry. I didn't miss a single question in chemistry, which was very, 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 very like top of the game. Like I felt really good. So I think I had about 30 something. So because it was scored over 40. So I had 30 something over 40 in my post UTME. It was very good. So that's what kind of like bolted me into medicine and surgery. Yeah. Next question, because I remember a lot. How did I gain admission into OAU? How else did I fly the fence? I think it's literally my scores that made me gain admission into OAU. There's no hanky panky. I really don't know what you want me to say, but that's how I gained admission. When do you plan to marry and why? I feel like this is a question from my mom. Mommy, why did you get into my Google form and ask me this question? Anyway, when do I plan to marry? I do not know. So why do I want to get married? I know that God's purpose for me is to make Christ known. Firstly, to know Christ and to make Christ known. So I believe that if I can chase 1,000 and can bring 1,000 to God, 2 of us will be able to chase 10,000. So that's the reason why I want to get married and that's why I want to have children so that we can all advance God's kingdom and so that we can spread more goodness on the surface of the earth because trust me, the earth is without form and void currently. Thank you, Mommy, for asking that question. What was your toughest level in med school and why? So, contrary to what a lot of people say that the 4th year is their toughest level. My own toughest level was actually my 2nd year because that year tested me physically, emotionally, spiritually, all the leads that you can think of. I was tested and tried in all ways. Guys, it was a lot for me. That year was not given. Like the Gen Zs would say, it was a lot. There was even a particular time that one of my results did not come out. Was it adjustments? But the balance was just off. So I think that's what affected me in majorly everything. So yeah. Do you have a boyfriend or are you in a relationship? Teary eye. Why is my relationship problem making you cry? I know my status is quite sad. I'm single, by the way. It's quite sad, but why are you crying on my behalf? Anyway, I do not have a boyfriend and I'm not in a relationship. How was I able to navigate the fourth year? Says, I want to really do well in this particular class, maybe have distinctions, but I'm kind of scared. Firstly, I want to say that you do not need to be scared of something that you've not even experienced at all. If you are getting scared of because of what people are saying, I would advise that you stop listening to people that are scaring you and listen to people that would empower you. The mindset is basically what determines if you would have good grades or bad grades. That's what I think. You seeing yourself as somebody that is able to achieve success would help you rather than you seeing yourself as somebody that can fail or something like that. So I don't want you to be scared of a class that you've not experienced at all. And I want you to just have an open mind, right? And for the tips that helped me, how I was able to scale to the class, my videos on distinction secret and also my academic weapon video will definitely help you. So you can check those out. Tokosile. Tokosile Miki. Sorry, I'm murdering your name. But Tokosile says, how does it feel achieving your goal to being a top student? It feels great. It feels very fulfilling. I'm very grateful. Like, I feel very good, honestly. But I know that this is not the end, that this is just a means to an end. In as much as I feel great and as I feel good, I know that I still need to keep going. So it honestly feels good to be a top student. I'm not gonna lie, like it's really good. Ebuka says, what school are you in? So I am in Obafemi Awolowo University, shortened as OAU. It's in Ile-Ife, Osun State, Nigeria, Africa, in Earth, close to the sun, but not too close to the sun, so that we don't burn, but I'm still burning. And what would you say you found most challenging fitting into medical school? Like I said, the challenging thing I had was the shock that I faced in my second year. That's because I was brilliant in secondary school, did not mean I was going to be brilliant in uni. It was just a lot. Lack of balance too also was a very challenging thing. And when I was able to navigate that, it went on very smoothly. So yeah. This person didn't ask any question, just left it blank. Like, why do you do that? Why? Don't waste my question space, bro. Why did you choose medicine? Was it your dream you felt or you felt it's something you can do? I did not dream that I was going to be a doctor and I did not dream I was going to save lives. No matter how I tried to package this term for you, I never had a dream that I wanted to study medicine. It was just one of those things because everybody felt like, oh, because you're a good student, you should study medicine. And because you're in science class, the next best thing for you to study is medicine, aside to engineering. Every African parent literally thinks there are four things to study in life. Either you become a banker, you become a doctor, you become an engineer, or you become a lawyer. So it was just one of those things, honestly. I was never compelled or forced, but it was just like common knowledge as at the time. So what has been your biggest challenge when it comes to balance? I feel like the biggest challenge anyone would have, because I've actually navigated my way through balance. I feel like the biggest challenge anybody would have is like trying to do so many things at the same time. That's like it would kill you, it would kill your motivation. You won't be able to like package everything that you're doing. You won't be able to sort out your life. So I feel like the biggest thing you can do to help yourself when you're involved in a lot of things is to delete some things from your life and focus on only the important things. You can't spread yourself too thin, because if you do that, you'll be reducing your output and you will not eventually be able to produce any good fruits in your life. Do you get what I mean? I'm currently in my third JAMB attempt, aspiring to study the course you're studying. Oh, yes, I'm a girl too. Twins. What would your advice be to me? I would advise that if this is something that you really want to do, like you know that you really, really want to do it, and it's not because of pressure from your parents or from your friends or something like that, you should definitely continue. However, I would advise that if you are being offered courses like in each of your JAMB attempts, because I did JAMB twice as well, and I was offered animal science in my first attempt. So I had to go to another uni. I did A levels. I did studied medicine in another uni. Blah 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 blah. That story for another day. But I would advise that you actually go with the course that you are being offered, so you don't eventually so your brain doesn't eventually rot at the end of the day. Because I think it's better to do well in JAMB when you are actually in a school environment and when you are reading from a school environment rather than when you are reading from home. That would be like my biggest advice to you. Can you give us tips on how to make a study plan? Like what subject to study during your study time as a medical student? I made a video on my study routine, so I don't think I'll be talking about that in this video. So you should definitely check that video out. And for what to study during your study period, it depends on how urgent those things are to you. For example, if you have a physiology exam, you won't want to go ahead to be studying anatomy, right? It just depends on the urgency and how much you have to cover per time. I'm a student of nursing and midwifery. Is it midwifery or midwifery? I'm finding it hard to study effectively and raise my grades from average scores, and I'm experiencing a lot of fatigue and pressure in my studies. Please help me. Honestly, I'm very sorry that you feel like this. I felt like this a couple of times in my med school journey, in my second year, in my fourth year. I felt exhausted. But what I wanted to know is that it is not over until it's over. Like until you yourself tell yourself that I'm done, I'm done, I'm not doing this again, then it is not over. As long as you have life, there is hope. So I need you to hold on to that first of all. And I need you to also tell yourself that you are a success. Don't say the words that I'm a failure. Don't ever speak negative about yourself because trust me, your body hears this, your brain hears whatever it is that you're saying, and your tongue, it is so powerful. Your mind, it is so powerful. So I want you to start to breed positive thoughts about yourself, most importantly, and about how to navigate studying effectively. You can check out my videos on distinction secrets and academic weapon. Those two videos are like the best videos I can recommend to anybody on this channel. So you should check those out. I believe that it will definitely help you because I don't want to go over those tips all over again, so I will not bore every other person. And my heart is going out to you. I pray that God indeed does the wonders that you deserve. He always has better plans for you. So I want you to know that. What subjects did you do in high school? And are you currently studying or working? And which course or job? Well, in Nigeria, it's called secondary school. So I was a science student. I was in a science in school. So I did biology, chemistry, physics, mathematics, further maths. At the point I was doing technical drawing, but trust me, I was doing badly. Like I was doing really, really badly in technical drawing. So I won't even consider that one of the courses because I eventually dropped it in my I think my second senior secondary school year. But yeah, I also did civic education and computer science. So those are the courses that I did. Are you also currently studying or working and which course or job? So I'm still studying, sadly. I should have been working. I am studying medicine and surgery, and I will soon be a doctor because this is my final year. Say hallelujah for me. Ay, God, it's too sweet. It's too sweet. What are you studying? I already mentioned that. And what motivated you to study it? And this is from Pangela and Zizo. I'm sorry. I'm a Yoruba girl in Nigeria, so I'm going to be murdering your name. I'm so sorry, Anzizu. Anzizo in Pangela. I'm sorry. So I think I already answered this question. Can you show us your setup to make videos? Oh, this is a very good question. I really love videography. So, and walk us through the process of filming your videos. Thank you. So I would say this is actually going to be another video sort of, but I will just show like the equipment that I use. I will show them maybe on this side. I'll just show like a brief portion of my setup and things like that. So it's really nothing deep, honestly. I use an iPhone 11. I have two LED lights in front of me, and I have a backlight, which is like an influencer light that is very tiny lights like this. So yeah. Augustine said, can you do a live video to answer our questions? So I would be going live one of these days, maybe when I get to school, because when I resume, my posting schedule is going to be shifted because I won't have all the time in the world. I will be going to postings, going to the hospital. So it's going to be a great shift. So I'll be doing a live video most likely when I get to school. And I'll definitely let you guys know. The live video will be very interactive. You'll be able to ask anything and everything, we'll be able to chat better. So thank you, Augustine. How can one read and not forget and also understand with maximum focus? How do I focus? So I feel like focusing is it's something you just have to do, right? For myself, there has been no method or no way that makes me to focus better. I feel like because I know the reason why I'm studying, I know the reason why I'm studying so much and the reason why I'm studying so hard. So I feel like that is what backs me up to study, and that's what makes me to focus. For me personally, there's really nothing much that makes me focus. I don't know if you get what I mean, but that's what I do. But for you to be able to read and not forget, the two basic things I do are active recall and spaced repetition, and I spoke about them in my memorization video, which you should check out. How come you're 20 or 21 in fifth year with all the strikes? Who's your business? And were you academically gifted in secondary school as well? I was actually good in secondary school, if I do say so myself. I was good. I was a good student in secondary school, so yes. And how come you're 20 or 21? Waiting be your own. In what's my school and my level. So I'm currently in final year. I've mentioned my school earlier. And the person says, what is my best advice for a fresher from my experience in medical school? As a fresher, if you're in 100 level, because in my school, CGPA does not count, and your CGPA from 100 level honestly does not count, except if you want to get scholarships and things like that. But I would say you need to start cultivating a good study habit and a good study routine from the very first year. Do not think because you are in part one, you should be wasting and whiling away your time. No. Start practicing active recall, spaced repetition, even with your physics, chemistry, zoology, sociology that you're reading. Start practicing it as little as that. So that when you get to second year, it won't be so hard for you to adjust and you'll be able to start to build your momentum and start to have good grades, even from the very scratch. So that's what I would advise you. K asked me 3 questions. His first question was, hey, so how do you go about, hey, am I your mate? So how do you go about catching up when you're really behind in class? I actually spoke more about this in my study routine video, so I really don't want to go deep into it. The basics on how I catch up when I'm really behind in class is that I literally just I firstly pick out the most important things. I study them first. Then I start to go for the least important things. That's like the summary. Then his second question was, do you think it's time wasting to write notes as you study because of the load of work that you have to read? Mm, I used to be someone that used to write notes while I study, but now I only write notes when I'm studying for essay exams. I do not do that for exams that are multiple choice based anymore because I discovered that it actually wastes my time and does not make me read fast. But when I'm preparing for essay exams, I write notes. Grace says that if I could start preclinicals again, what would I do differently? I would employ all the study tips that I've given on this channel. I would employ them literally because I discovered that I was just doing a lot of anki panky in part two, in part one, in part two and part one majorly. So I would employ study routines like active recall. I would study every day. Number one, I would study every day. No, number one is I would actually involve God. Yes. And then I would study every day and I would involve active recall and spaced repetition. Period. Between nursing and pharmacy, which profession would be the best long term? I do not know. I am not God. Anyone that you feel is a good career choice for you, please pick it. I cannot tell you what to pick. I'm sorry. I admire a lot about you. Oh, so much about your content is really intriguing. Thank you. Would you mind sharing your contact for possible conversations later? Like I said, I do not give out my contact. Please text me on Instagram if you want to talk to me. My Instagram handle is Folakemi Oluduro, the same name on my YouTube. You can check me on Instagram and I would reply to you when I see the message. And this person also says, creating this content might not be a cakewalk. Writer. But keep on, you're doing a lot of good. Thank you so much. God bless you for your sweet comments. I just finished my part 1 MB with distinctions in all the courses. Wow, I'm clapping for you. But Omo, I really want to delve into spaced repetitions. I did it and it helped a lot. You see? But it says then it was a haphazard. Sorry. Coupled with the fact that med school is pretty crazy. I'm in a religious school with a lot of services. Girl. I also need to attend online meetings with my church so I can actually grow spiritually. I'm babbling a lot. Essentially, I need practical steps to spaced repetition and active recall, considering how hectic path and farm gets. I already spoke about this, like I said, in my memorization video, so I think that you should check it out. And I'm actually grateful that you understand that spaced repetition actually works. Like, that's a good thing. I'm happy that you know that it works. So you should check out my video on memorization. It will definitely help you. I would really like to get into research in my 4th and 5th years. That's really good. But I need tips. I'm not into research, so I don't know if I'm the best person to give you tips. I feel like if your school or if your department has something like a research club, my own department has in my school, there has a research and a journal club, which I feel like has helped many people. I'm already making research on how to do that. Haha, see what I did there? No, I did not see it. But a video on this would be great. So, like I said, I'm really not into research. But if your school or you have clubs in your departments that are into research, definitely join them. They would help you a great deal. And if you also found out that there are a couple of lecturers in my school as well that involve students in research. So if in your school you have such lecturers, I advise that you walk up to them and trust me, they will not decline. Lecturers need students' help more than you can think. So you can walk up to them and see what they say. What are your thoughts on studying till 2 a.m. the night before a test? I used to do this very well, especially when I'm not prepared. Because med school, you can really not be too prepared for an exam. So sometimes I study so much, I only sleep for 2 hours. So I don't think I'm the best person to help you if you don't want to study deep before an exam. It's not the most advisable thing to do, but I do it. So person said, what's your morning routine before a test and what keeps you calm before a test? I pray. Before any test, I pray and I try to revise the things that look like they are high yield and I go over my jottings, everything that I have jotted, everything that I put down in my jotter, I go over them. So that's what helps me. How do you juggle friendships, relationships while studying? Because for me, I've lost friends because of my medical career because they were distractions. Ha. How do you maintain relationships with people while studying for exams and still maintaining your grades? Except if your friends are really, really distractions, I do not see the need to really cut anybody off just because you're studying medicine. And if anybody is honestly not watching your life, you should distance yourself away from them. That's what I believe. Or if anybody is straying you away from your faith in Jesus, please be far away from that person because that person is ready for your destruction. So those are the basic conditions that I have to friendships, basically. Then the person said, "How do you juggle romantic?" I'm not involved romantically with anybody, so I can't say. Then, how do you incorporate your faith with your studies? Do you have time to nurture your relationship with Jesus? In my routine, my everyday routine, I spoke about in my distinction secrets. You should check that out. But I have a routine that from 6 a.m. to 7 a.m., I'm in my word. I'm studying my Bible. I'm praying. Like, I've given that time to Jesus. So that's how I've easily been able to incorporate my faith with Jesus. And my storage is about to get full. So we have to be real quick. Just questions. I still have 14 questions to go. Person also said, how do you maintain self-care and not lose yourself? And how do you manage? Bruh, in school, I always look like shit. I don't always look good, but I do the bare minimum, honestly. So I don't think I'm the best person to answer that question. But anyway, next question, please. Next caller.
Next caller.
Miracle said, what was my JAMB preparation like? Did I ever faint? How would I faint because of JAMB? When there are other tough exams coming up. Anyway, I never fainted. It was quite the work, the struggle, because I did JAMB twice. So, but I never fainted. It wasn't that bad. I wouldn't say it's the toughest exam I've done in my life. So, because trust me, if you are planning to study medicine, you will have more tougher exams. So don't kill yourself because of JAMB. I'm just saying. This person has a very, very long question, which I don't think I'm going to reply now, but I will reply later. I know that at some point, I'll have to make more than Christian med school vlogs, as that would be of more value to my community. So how do you always come up with content ideas besides the usual lifestyle vlogs? So I do a lot of content research. When I say content research, I don't do some deep stuff. I just go around YouTube and I study other channels that are similar to mine and even channels that I love to watch. I study those channels and I see what kind of titles are working, what kind of thumbnails are working. I write them down. I take screenshots of the thumbnails that I think are working. And then I also look at my comments to see what people are interested in seeing. Because if you are making videos that people that are subscribed to you or people that are following you do not want to see, your video is not going to get pushed out as much, right? It will take a while for videos to get pushed out. Always make sure you are making content that people want to see and content that is valuable in one way or the other. Do I read and write? I'm in school, of course, I read and write. Do you advise a fellow medical student to read and write? Oh, I'm thinking you're saying like to actually write books. I've not written any book. I do not write, but I read. I read books. This is currently the book that I'm reading. Am I being fooled by Apostle Emmanuel Urian, the lead pastor of my church? If you're a CCR member, say hello, hello, hello. No, say ICFCWJ in the comments so I'll know my people. It's about frequently asked questions about God, the Bible, and Jesus Christ. And this book is already doing a lot of numbers to me. I just started reading it yesterday and I'm in chapter 2. So this is the second book of the year. I've read Atomic Habits this year as well and another book on successful learning. I can't remember, but I've not finished that one, but this is my second book of the year. So I would advise that if you love to read and write as a passion, please and please and please don't neglect it. Make sure that you're focusing your energy into it. Because who says you become a medical doctor, a practicing medical doctor at the end of the day? Cast your bread on many waters. You are still young. Make sure that you're not putting all your eggs in one basket. If you know that you love to read and write, please by all means go after it and do it. Okay? How do I make notes? Textbooks, slides, videos, which one is it or all? So the major bane of how I make my notes in class is based on what the lecturer is saying in class and what I think will be important for my exams in class. So those are the two metrics I use to take notes in class. I don't just write every single thing, except his lecturer says he's not going to release his slides, which is very wicked to do. But I take notes and then I also couple that with slides and textbooks when I want to study. I also used to do videos before when I was in preclinicals, but to be honest, sometimes some videos don't help. So I majorly do textbook slides and class notes. How do you handle procrastination? Baby, I have a whole video on procrastination. You all didn't watch that video. And I poured my soul, I poured my sweat and blood into that video. So go and watch the video now. That video is full, complete. It speaks on what procrastination is, the scientific backing on procrastination, how best to handle procrastination, all of that. And trust me, I personally recommend that video. That is like my most prepared for video. So go and check it out. That will definitely answer your question. Should I log off from social media to improve my academic performance? If you think that social media is distracting you, by all means, reduce the time you're on social media. As simple as ABC. If you're not on social media to make money, or if it's not a job to you, you don't need to be on it all the time, to be honest. How many hours do I need to sleep? I guess that's what this person asking. It's depending on how much your body needs, to be honest. But I feel like the optimal time is maybe from 6 to 10 or 6 to 8 or 6 to 10 hours. But it depends on how much. To me, sleep is, I don't know, sleep is just one of those things, but it depends on how much you need to sleep. Just watch how your body is. Test with different hours. Try to sleep for 4 hours. Try to sleep for 6 hours. Try to sleep for 8 hours. I see which one your body adjusts to best and try to create your schedule around that, I guess. So what times are the best for studying? Honestly, anytime. You don't need to use the same time as someone else. Like, you can study best in the morning, while me, I study best in the night. Like, there's no time in the world that is best for studying. Any time that you think is best for you to study, that's the best time. So how do I balance everything? Social life, academics, house chores, God, and church? I think I already mentioned that in one of my answers. Maintain your priorities and see which of them are actually more essential for you to do, and stick with those things and pour more of your energy into your priorities, and don't spread yourself too thin. Okay? I'm rushing right now because I need to go and cook for my mother. It's 3:35. I'm still an African girl in an African home, so I'm going to cook for my parents. I can see growth. Question mark, question mark. Yeah, I know you see it. What did you start doing differently? Okay, I started making valuable content. That's what I started doing. I stopped doing vlogs because my channel used to be based on vlogs and very random stuff. But I realized that people actually don't care. So I started creating more valuable content based off things that I was already good at, which is academics. And a lot of people resonated with it. So that's the short story of it. I should make a video on how I grew on YouTube one of these days. If you're interested, you can just say how to grow on YouTube in the comments and I will know that you're interested. To question 42. Whew. So what is your relationship with God like? It's amazing. It's personal. It's a father to child, father to daughter relationship, and it's amazing. That's the short story of it. It's good. It's going well. And yeah, I attend a church that is after my personal growth, which is Celebration Church International. So shameless plug. If you want to join our church, you are most definitely welcome. Okay? 1,000,000,000 souls in 10,000 cities. Now how it start with this. So welcome. Thank you so much for all of your videos. I'm writing JAMB this year and I failed medicine and surgery. Yay! What advice do you have for a girl going to medicine, academics, social life? What mistakes should I avoid when I get to med school? Sending you lots of love. Thank you. I'm also sending you lots of love. Mwah. Kiss for you if you're a girl. Yeah. Okay, you already said you're a girl. Yeah, if you're a boy, no kiss for you. So, so what mistakes should you avoid? You should avoid trying to do so many things at the same time. You should avoid having bad company. Ensure that you find yourself into very, very good company. You should avoid taking Jesus out of your life. Please and please and please. Ensure that God is at the top of your game. Don't try to leave God out of the equation because at the end of the day, you end up doing nonsense, I promise you. So don't do that. How many times do you go over what you've read before exams? As many times as possible. I can't even tell you how many times I revise the same line over and over. Like, as long as I know that that thing is important, I will go over it as many times as possible. I can't even tell you how many times. Is a lot of times. So how many topics can you read a day? Like I said again, this is very relative. I can read as much as I want in a day, depending on the urgency and how much I know that I have to cover. Do you go over everything that was taught in class that day? Yes, I try my best to do that because, like I said, reading every day is a cumulative effect. Like I spoke about it in my study routine video, and I mentioned something called a cumulative effect of studying. So as much as you study every day, it increases your ability to study and it reduces the work that you have to do when exams are closed. And it reduces the amount of panic attacks you'll be having when exams are closed because trust me, they are real. So yeah, I do that every day. So now to the final question. God, thank you, Jesus. Whew. So Benita said, can you talk about how you scale through the individual courses? Like I said, I really do not want to make this video a very niche video. So You can check out other YouTubers that speak on individual courses, and you can text me on Instagram. I will try my best to walk you through some of them. Maybe not everything, but I will try my best. Benita also said, what secrets are there to excelling in each of them? Like I said, you can text me on Instagram. I will do my best to answer you, Benita. I'm all for your growth and your progress and joy in the faith. Hi, Folakemi. Hi, hello. My question is, as a top student, did you engage in other extracurricular activities like politics, social events, skill acquisitions, or money-making classes? Yeah, I do not just do academics alone. Like you see, I also do content creation, and it's a big part of my life. And I also do church. So I will consider that an extracurricular activity, and I put a lot of time into that. So yeah, I'm not just about school. And this person also said, because in my school, it feels like if you're totally engrossed in your academics, you're not completely fulfilled, or you are seen as boring. Although I believe that as someone aiming for the top, all these things could be a distraction. But what's your take on this? So, like I said, do not put all your eggs in one basket, and also do not spread yourself too thin. If you have a passion, like somebody asked that, is it good to read and write while you're a medical student? I said, all right and good, you can go ahead and do it. If you have a passion for acting, take acting gigs as long as they are not affecting your school and your studying. Make sure you do that, because who says you are eventually going to practice medicine? Who says that will be the journey into your purpose? You know what I mean? So ensure that you're not putting your eggs into one basket of medicine, because it's quite draining to only be doing medicine while you're in medical school. It's a lot. So Patty also said, another issue I'm having is balancing the workload with repetition and revision of study notes. It seems like there's never enough time for revision, and the workload keeps compiling, keeping me in a vicious cycle. How do I break free from this? So, like I mentioned in the comment section where this person asked me, I said that you need to start early. I feel like that's the major problem that this person has. You're not starting to studying I keep making a lot of grammatical errors. I need to be bad. You need to start studying as early as possible so that you're able to cover a lot within what seems like a short period of time. I guess that is like the short answer to your question. Did I try? Yeah, I tried. I know I tried. So that is all for this video. Oh, these were a lot of questions, and I'm grateful that I was able to go through every single question that everybody had. Thank you so much for sending in your questions. The next time I'll be filming this, I hope that I have more storage by then. And I would also love to do this in a live format where you guys just be giving me your rapid fire questions. And I feel like that would be more interactive. Let me know what you guys think. If you think that live would be better, you can just comment live in the comment section, so I would know that you are into that kind of stuff. And a little birdie told me that you already lost hope in yourself academically and you want to give up. This video begs to differ, and trust me, it's going to answer all of your questions that you have about how to become an academic weapon in 2025. It's not too late to become an academic weapon. I said it. You can trust me. See you in my next video. I love you, Achalugo.